Hi, everyone. This is Lauren Maley with Chicago Metro History Day, and I am going to show you how to register for the 2024 History Day contest season. And we are going to start out by going to il-metro.nhd.org. Your teacher will probably have this email for you. This will bring you to zFairs, which is the contest system that we use. And we use it, Illinois History Day uses it, National History Day uses it. So if you come to our contest and you do really well and you advance to the next level of the contest or even nationals, all of the information that you input into the system now will carry over to those next levels, and you'll just have to sort of update your project materials as you go along, but your username will stay the same, your password will stay the same. It's just the URL that will change. It'll go to like IL and then to nationals. But make sure that whatever information you put in today is something that you're happy to keep, that you remember your password, that you remember your username, because you might be using it for a while. Just before we begin, I do want to mention these important dates and deadlines right here. We need to know who is coming to our contest. So we need to have your name and your information in zFairs by February 12th. That does not mean that your project has to be done by February 12th. It does not mean that you have to upload anything by February 12th, but we just need to know that you are in the system and that we should be expecting you and help you work through registration. We also need websites and papers from students in those categories by February 21st at 9 p.m. That is a firm deadline. So if you are a paper student or a website student, your final materials are due to us February 21st at 9 p.m. And then we will send those materials out for judges to look at before the contests so that when you meet with your judges at the contests, they will have already read your websites and they will have already read your papers. Everyone else should submit digital versions of their process papers and annotated bibliographies at this time, just so that we as History Day staff can look through things and make sure that there aren't any issues, but judges won't be looking at those for performances, documentaries, or exhibits until the day of the contest. So you have until the day of the contest to continue making revisions and edits if you are a performance, exhibit, or documentary student. Just things to keep in mind, but please, please, please do keep in mind that February 12th deadline is when we need you to do this creating an account business. So this is the same place you'll go to if you're a teacher registering or even if you're a judge registering, but we're going to go through how to make accounts for students. Please do read through all of the instructions that we have along the way. There's some helpful information in there. But if at any point you have any questions, please reach out to us at historyday@chicagohistory.org. We have multiple staff members monitoring that email, so you should get a pretty speedy response if you need any help. So historyday@chicagohistory.org. Make that email your friend because we will happily help you however we can. If you are coming from a school that is doing History Day, you did History Day as part of class, then you'll add your school and teacher information as you go along. But if you did not do History Day in school, you're doing it as an independent scholar, there are a few extra steps here for you. And then when you get to the selecting your school and teacher stage, you can select, or you should select, independent scholar instead of your school name. And for your teacher, just pick me. And that makes it administratively easier for us to keep an eye on independent scholars rather than having a teacher who's keeping an eye on a class full of students and their registration. So we're going to create our username. Make sure that you're happy with your username, that it's something you're okay with keeping if you end up going to Illinois History Day or National History Day. And because this is not a real student, I want to make sure that I'm aware of that. And then I'll add my email. Make sure if you're a student that you are using a personal email address and not your school email address, because a lot of schools block external emails that would be from systems like this. And we've had students sometimes who have forgotten their password and tried to log into the system to reset their password, and it sends it to your email, the reset link, but your email blocks the incoming mail from zFairs and you can never reset your password, and then students get worried. So use a personal email, not your school email. It could be a parent's email. But yeah, try not to use your school email, especially if you're in grades 6 through 8. Those emails block external stuff like this all the time. If you have any accessibility needs or accommodations that we should be aware of, please let us know that here. You're also welcome to send us an email. But the sooner we know about any accommodations requests, the more we will be able to actually meet those requests. If it's something that comes to us the day of the contest, we might not have the time or be able to prepare enough to meet those needs. So let us know about accessibility or accommodations as soon as you can. Make sure you remember your password as you create your password. I would recommend writing it down. If you do forget it, we as History Day staff can reset it for you, but that takes time. You have to then email us. So make it easy for yourself. I do really recommend, what is my email address? I do recommend adding your parent or guardian's email if you can. That helps us ensure that if for whatever reason your own email isn't taking stuff from zFairs, that we can contact your parent about this if there's an issue. Oh, you also don't have to put an address. It says it's required, so you might have to put something in here just to make the computer happy, but you don't actually have to put your address. You're more than welcome to, and it's actually helpful to us if you do. So that if you need to be mailed any awards or certificates or anything like that, we can just send them right to you, and we don't have to then bug you for an address later. But you don't have to. All right, so now we are into the additional questions. This is where you'll say participating school versus independent scholar. For our purposes, I'm just going to say independent scholar so that I don't bother any actual real teachers with fake student accounts in the system. Let us know again about any disability or scheduling accommodations that you need. So if on the day of the contest for our junior division, grades 6 through 8 students, that's March 9th. And our high school students, grades 9 through 12, that's March 2nd. If you have other things going on that day, like maybe you have a math competition in the morning or an ice skating competition in the afternoon, and you also want to do the History Day contests, we can be really flexible in how we schedule you that day to make sure that you can do both things and that you don't have to skip one or the other. But you have to let us know about your scheduling needs in order for us to actually meet those needs. So please, even if it's just a scheduling issue, let us know if there's anything you need from us here. There are a few just sort of like waiver sort of things to click through. These events are photographed. You aren't guaranteed to be in any photos, but we do have photographers going around taking pictures of the events. So if you don't want your photo to be taken, let us know. The following questions have nothing at all to do with your judging. They are only to help us better understand how our program works at the classroom level, what students are actually looking at for research, what sources they're using, the types of things that they're learning, especially in this little bunch of questions here. It helps us determine which projects might be eligible for special awards. So like the Chicago Collections Consortium often sponsors an award where students will get cash prizes if they do an exceptional job using the Chicago Collections Explore portal. So if you've used that one, let us know and we'll take a look at your project and see if it's eligible for that award. Tell us which classes you've done. History Day in, how many years you've participated in History Day. You certainly don't have to answer any of these, but questions like this help us understand the types of students that our program is reaching. And maybe if our program skews one way or another, we know to sort of emphasize our efforts in reaching a broader variety of students. Telling us how you and why you chose your topic. That's just stuff that we are really interested in knowing, but it's not going to in any way affect your judging. A few more things. I'll just click random boxes here. Fill out as much of this as you can. I'm just speeding through this because I don't want to keep you here all day. But yeah, this really helps us understand the types of things that students are learning by doing the process of History Day. Okay. Okay, this is where it gets a bit different depending on who you are and who you're working with. If you are a student who is working alone, or if you are a student who's working in a group, but you are the first group member to register, you will go through this start a new entry process. If you are working in a group and someone else in your group has already registered, you are going to go this way. I'm going to go through both. If you are a group member who has had someone else already register, then this whole part will be at the end of this video. But right now we are going to proceed as if we're either a student working alone or the first student in a group to register. So you'll go to your school. This is a list of all schools that do History Day. I'm going to pretend again that I'm an independent scholar, but if you are part of a real school, you should pick your real school because then your real teacher will show up in the teacher category. So we'll do this, ignore all the test accounts, grade, and we will proceed. Title. I have no idea what my project title is, but you should. And you'll pick which category this is. Because I'm going to show you how to do a group registration later, I'm going to pick a group thing now. But I do want to show you that whenever you pick your category, a bunch of instructions pop up and tell you exactly what we need from you and when. So please pay attention to all of this information that comes up. If you're doing a group documentary, the things that we need from you are different than if you are doing, say, like an individual website, then the information changes. So whatever you're doing, click it, and then pay really a close attention to the types of things that we need from you and when. But I'm going to go to, we'll say, a group performance. And yes, it's going to be a team project. If you have your process paper, your written materials, everything is a combined PDF, you can then add your file here, click the button, then you can choose the file and upload it. But if we're only registering, like we need to register for the February 12th deadline, but not the February 21st deadline, we'll just click save and continue, and you can log back in at any time to add the written materials later. Okay. We don't need this because I clicked performance, but if you're an exhibit student and your project is really snazzy and for some reason requires electricity, let us know so that we can place you near an outlet. Or if your project is super tall and it should be placed on the floor instead of on the table, you should let us know. Check out the NHD rulebook for the size requirements for exhibits, but some exhibits are pretty tall. And if you're short like I am and you're judging a project that's really tall and the project is on a table, it might be better off if the project was on the floor. So let us know. Okay, this is the last page and it's meant especially to be completed with a parent just because it's a bunch of sort of waivers and permissions, things that you should or should not agree to. History Day is not dangerous. There are no children eating lions there or anything like that. But it's always just good to be aware of what you are agreeing to when you click those little check boxes. So often best to have a parent read through that as well. If you do not click save and continue at the end of this page, you are not done registering. So I'm going to click save and continue. And this screen here is the screen that we have to see for everyone for your account to actually be fully created. If you stop at any point before you see this screen right here, you are not done registering. Your account isn't complete and you're not actually showing up in our records and we don't know how to expect you. So before the end of the day on February 12th, we need you to see this account created for page. Don't stop your registration before then. Make sure you finish it. Make sure you get to this account created page. If you are an individual student who isn't working with any groups, then this group information here, the team information, won't be on this page, but everything else will look the same. Okay, cool. Anyway, if you are a group member who has had someone in the group already register, then we're going to get into what that looks like. For that team project, you want to know this project key. So if you're the first student to register in your group, copy this project key and paste it into maybe like a shared Google Doc or something that your group members can access. And take this link and copy that in there too, because your group members will need either this project key, which is right here and right here, or they will need this URL to register. But you need that information if you're a group member registering after someone else has already started the group registration. So keep that in mind. And we are going to pause for just a moment and pick up with registration in a second. Okay, so I am back, and what I just did is I clicked that URL that you could share with group members, and I created a new account as a second group member. And when I got to the school page, it already knew that I was an independent scholar and my teacher was my teacher, and that I was in the same grade as my other group members because I had used that shared or shareable URL for helping subsequent group members register. When I go on to the next page for the project entry information, the title is already there because of the previous group member who registered. We already know that it's going to be a team project, and I can save and continue. And it already knows all of this information because I used that shareable link, which is this shareable link right here. And you can keep using that shareable link for the rest of your group members to register. And once one of you puts in project information and saves it, it will save for all group members. You don't have to use this shareable link. You can, and that's a really easy way of helping your group members register. Otherwise, what you can do is take this project key, copy paste it somewhere. I just copied and pasted it into Google, nothing fancy. And you can create yet another student account, go to create account, student, and start from the very beginning. And then when we come to add our project information, we'll need this project key. So once again, I will be right back and show you how to do that. Okay, we are back for the third time, and I promise we're at the end. So I did not use that shareable link to create this last test students registration. Instead, I have this project key copied, and I'm just going to make sure that that's copied one more time, and I will add this project key here. Now remember, this is only for students who are working in a group. If you're working all on your own, you don't have to do any of this sort of project key shareable link stuff. But if you have a group member who has already registered and it's time for you to register now, you want to make sure that you are linked to the same project and that you're not creating two separate registrations for two separate projects when actually you're working together. So I'll add this project key here and then press link. And here we are. It's showing that I'm an independent scholar, that I'm working with this particular teacher, that I'm in this particular grade. And that's all because of the information that the earlier student added to the system. It's okay to change this. Like maybe you are happening to work with someone who is in a different grade. That's fine. You can change it as needed. But then again, we see that the project title is already here. The category is already here. If you did have any files uploaded, they would be showing up here. You can add your own file here for the group and it will share across everyone else's registration. So only one group member needs to add materials. But we'll click save and continue, go through this final page. Remember, we're not done until we've done this page and we see account created for, and we are done. Remember to reach out to us by email is probably best. History Day at History Day at chicagohistory.org is probably the best way to find us. Register, add yourself to the system, make sure your group members are in the system by February 12th, and by February 21st, make sure you have any materials uploaded that need to be uploaded. And if you are a website or a paper student, make sure your final versions are in the system so that we can share those with judges. All right, you've been great listeners, I think. Let me know if you need any registration help. We're happy to help. Best of luck. We are so excited to see you all at Chicago Metro History Day. And yeah, good luck.